DeKalb County cops had to turn themselves in today. They have been indicted. Put up the picture full mass. I'm taking you to the state of Georgia. A Georgia grand jury in a DeKalb County case has indicted 2 police officers for a deadly 2022 shooting inside an Autumn Crest Court home. Former DeKalb County police officer Russell Mathis was indicted on charges of involuntary manslaughter and reckless conduct. A second officer, Jordan Vance, who is currently employed by DeKalb County, was charged with reckless conduct. At around 11 p.m. November 4th, 2022, officers with the DeKalb County Police Department went to a home on the 900 block of Autumn Crest Court to respond to a report of a stolen car parked in the driveway. They said when they knocked on the door, it swung open. So they went in and found 36-year-old Mirando Salmon in his bedroom in the dark. Now keep that picture up for a second, okay? Understand what's in the report so far. We knocked on the door and it magically swung open. So we went inside. The DeKalb County DA, Sheriff Boston, went into more details during the press conference. Sheriff Boston is a fine DA, by the way. Ms. Boston said Salmon threw a phone at the officers. Okay, he's startled, which they believe to be a knife, according to their report. But the narrative from law enforcement actually changed over time. In their first report, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation says that Salmon allegedly reached for a handgun and was shot by officers. A month later, the GBI walked that back. Although the officer did not see Salmon touch a firearm, he was reaching for a nearby item, the GBI report reads. In the news conference Wednesday, DA Boston said body camera footage and other evidence told a very different story, adding that Mathis appeared to open fire within seconds of encountering Mr. Salmon, although he did have a gun in the room. Boston says it was holstered nowhere near him, and he was a lawful gun owner. Both Mathis and Vance, they've surrendered now to the local jail. Now, this is one of those stories where nothing seemed legit from the beginning. All right, so how did you gain access? Well, we knocked on the door and it just swung open. What? And initially, investigators bought that, or they attempted to make us believe they bought that story. Oh, yeah. The door was just kind of cracked open already. They knocked on it, swung open. They went in to investigate, make sure everything was okay. Then there's this massive and very important detail that has contradiction. Did he reach for a gun or did he throw a cell phone? Because maybe you changed the story after realizing he had a gun in the home. See how this works? And all of a sudden, the story starts to transform into this gun thing. No gun was part of the narrative initially. And so DA Boston took this before a grand jury. Grand jury said, indict. All right, at least there's a symbol of justice happening now. Naturally, this never should have happened. A man basically sleep in his bedroom, get shot and killed by the police. They claim that his door was just basically open. Rayyvana, thoughts?
Yeah, well, first I would say one of those officers is still employed by the department, and I would hope that they soon will not be, because at the very least, of course, there's still gonna be prosecution. We'll have to see how that plays out. But at the very least, this person has shown that they are willing to lie on official reports to investigators to either, to cover up for themselves or to make things look better for their buddy who was, primarily responsible in this situation. Regardless, this is a liar. And the fact that he is still employed shows, some grave concern for the priorities of this police department. I'll also say that the body camera footage, showed a very different story than even when they recounted what they had previously said to the investigators, that it was almost instantaneous. The door opened and the shots were fired. So of course they didn't have time in a dark room. They had no time to evaluate what he could have possibly been reaching for. They had no idea that there was a gun present in the room or whether he would have even been able to access it. But I will just say this, even if they legitimately believed a knife was thrown at them, that is in no circumstances an appropriate time to use deadly force, because now that individual, they've thrown the knife, or what you believe to be a knife, it's not in their possession anymore. They are not a threat to you. They came away uninjured. They were fine because it wasn't a knife, as we know, it was a cell phone. But even their argument that would have justified using deadly force is completely absurd and has no merit.
Right, and that's a great point, because publicly they thought that would get them off. And really it's because of how we have contextualized policing in America. They believed that as long as we can say we thought, obviously everybody else will forgive the killing that we've engaged in. All right, we'll bring updates as they come.